74,258 we're playing online right now. Alright, new thing. Quest speedrunning, wilderness boss rework rewards, and poison dynamite betas. Betas. However you want to say it. Alright, literally, first thing we're going to do this in the order of what I think is most relevant. We're going to scroll through, right down, scrolling. Tombs of Amascut changes. What have they done? How have they ruined our beloved Raids 3 this week? They haven't ruined it yet in this blog post because they've implemented presets for ToA. Look at that handy little thing. You can save up to 5 of your favorite raid loadouts and switch quickly between them. It's going to be good. We're basically like, if you're running with a team, you're going to turn on a set that everyone agrees on. It's like, hey, let's run some casual 250s, so everything except Insanity. Not everything, but you know what I mean. And with that, like, that's our standard. So whenever we do our 250s, it's always the same. We don't need to think like, oh, is Mind the Gap on? Is Feeling Special on? Blah, blah, blah. Like, you just always know what's on. So that'll be good. Party leader is the only one that can edit and choose presets, obviously. Additionally, new players entering the raid for the first time are now introduced to the invocation system. All right, so yeah, that's a little, I don't know why they added that with this top line of text, but that's okay. You have 2 options when introduced. If you say you're experienced, they will have a normal raid, a raid level of 150. Preset saved as their first preset. Otherwise, they'll have their first preset empty and start with 0. Basically, yeah, you choose. I'm shit at the game. Okay, you get 0 invocations. I'm good at the game. Okay, you get 150 as your default. I think 150, like a basic 150, should have been the entry mode, to be honest. But anyways, made some changes to a few of the invocations. Oh, lordy lord, what have they done? Silent prayers. That was the one that made it so if you're praying correctly, you still take 10% damage. They've replaced it with deadly prayers, a new invocation that drains your prayer by 20% of the damage taken, rounding down. This is worth 20 raid levels. So silent prayers is gone. I ran that one quite frequently. Like 10% prayers, it's not ideal, but like 10% of you take 10% damage on your prayer if it's correct, good and well. That one was pretty free, in my opinion, because it was worth 15 raid points. Or was it worth 20? 15, I think. And it was basically like, if you have 10 brews in your inventory, like, you're going to use one of them. And that's it. Like, that's pretty decent. So they've now changed it so damage taken, 20% of the damage taken removes prayer from you. Drains your prayer by 20% of the damage taken. So, like, what? Why? I don't get that one. I don't get that change. If silent prayers was too easy, why did you change it to a different thing? Just fucking lower the raid level points from 15 to 10. Anyways, we'll see how Deadly Prayers plays out. If anything, they should have just added Deadly Prayers as another invocation, not replacing silent prayers. Upset Stomach has gone from 10 to 15. That's the one where the jugs that you push around in the crocodile room, Zebak, they would explode and do like a, I don't know, was it 3x3 or 4x4, and now it does like a 2x2, or it does less. Anyway, so that one was kind of annoying. It also puts way more acid in the room, which makes dodging the waves and the blood spawns a little harder. Stay Vigilant has gone from 10 to 15. Stay Vigilant is the one that, thanks for commenting on the previous video where I screwed that one up. It's the one where it switches its attack styles randomly. Sorry, Akka switches its attack styles randomly. Before it was every 6 hits, I believe. Feeling Special has gone from 15 to 20. Honestly, that's like, it's getting to the point where that's worth running even with a group of like beginners. Just be like, yeah, you know, the puzzle in the middle, just memorize it quickly, and then it goes twice as fast. Like, it's so slow without Feeling Special on, but with Feeling Special on, it's like pretty fast for some people, especially if you're like, I've been playing on a UK server and I'm from like central eastern Canada. Like, the ping naturally is over 120 on those worlds, but they're still better than the US worlds that have 30 ping. So, anyways. No help needed. That's the one that gave you 0 loot whatsoever from the helpful spirit. It now gives you 90% loot reduction. So it gives you 10% loot. So instead of getting 5 brews, yesterday I had to raid 7 brews, 1 restore, and 1 smelling salt from Chaos. And I'm like, bro, this is enough. This is more brews than I'll use in the entire raid. And you get that from one thing. So now that basically would be reduced to be 1 brew, 1 restore, 1 smelling salt. So instead of nothing, straight up. Anyways, I don't know. Okay, here's some other changes. You'll no longer get duplicate Karis Partisan Jewels until you've received all 3 of them at least once. That should have been on release. Way to go, Jagex. I mean, it's better to fix it now than never, but like, yeah, I don't know. Why are the gems so friggin' rare? They're not purples, and they're rarer than purples. It's very strange. Elidinininis's Ward, or what? That's the ornamented kit one. Now correctly boosts your magic strength by 5% instead of 3. Literally, if you put on the kit that you get from doing a 450 invocation deathless raid, that turns the Elidinus Ward from blue to red and black, it was bugged. They bugged it. Fucking, we're gonna talk about that in a bit. Max Cape version of the assembler can now be converted into a truer version and stored in your player-owned house. The kit itself can also be now used directly on the assembler Max Cape. I got the gold Missouri kit yesterday, and yeah, I used it on a Ava's assembler. Like I had an extra one in the bank, so I have my regular Max Cape version. I used it on an assembler version. I went and I bought another Max Cape, and then I used the assembler on the Max Cape. And that's how you make the gold cape. Otherwise, like now it's made so you can just use the ornament kit directly on your existing max cape. So if you're not maxed, max. It's kind of rewarding mentally and physically. The Path of Het challenge room now has a pickaxe statue near the exit. That is fucking sick. The amount of times I've forgotten to the pickaxe, like I still remember and I run all the way back, but I just waste time. It'd be nice if it's just at the exit now. Fix an issue causing Akka's Phantom to change styles way too often when using the Stay Vigilant invocation. Yeah, that's good. We like this. It's way too often is bad. They make it less often. Good. Arcane Scarab now plays the correct spawn animation during the Kefri counter. I don't know what the animation was before it, but I do. It was the one that it flew down from the sky. That was the spawn animation. That's what the other ones did. I thought that was right, so maybe they just forgot and put the wrong one. Interfaces can now be opened if a bomb is flying towards you as the obelisk is defeated during the Warden encounter. That actually happened to me. You kill the obelisk at the start of Wardens, and you go to open your bag to get some shit out of it, and you just can't. Like, it just wouldn't open if there was a bomb flying towards you, which is like, you know, they take like 12 seconds to get to you. So, fix the issue. Hold on, I guess. Mango iced tea, boys. Mango green tea is what it actually is. Fix the issue in Phase 3 where the Wardens would stop attacking for a brief moment after one of the players died. I've never seen that one before because no one's ever died in one of my raids. No one, ever. Actually, we had an 11 death purple the other day. Fixed a second issue in the Warden's Phase 3 where the lightning would sometimes stop unexpectedly. I'm wondering if that is... Like, it used to stop if the boss was under 1% HP. Have they changed that so that it no longer does that? I'm not sure. We'll find out. I was in a 8-man... Was it 8? It might have been 6 or something. We were doing a 300 expert, and I was the last person alive with like 5% of the boss's health left. And I'm just running around in the front row of P3 Wardens. Lightning's popping off everywhere. Kefri bombs are exploding. And then the lightning stopped. And I was like, what the okay, this is free. And I just like casually walked it home. I could have kicked the boss to death because all I had to dodge was the Kefri bombs. So maybe that's what they're talking about. But yeah, it was under 1%. I thought that was just a mechanic. You can now select the various difficulty levels of ToA as possible activities for a clan event. No way! I can't believe they've done. That's so good. Just kidding. Did anyone even remember that there's a clan event activity thing? No one did. When Akka changes attack styles, it will now stop the player from attacking, similar to Nihilo and ToB. First off, they forgot to capitalize Theater Blood. It's a title of something that's no, that's awful. But this is so good. It'll speed up. It will speed up your kills at Akka, because the amount of times where I hit the boss one tick after it changes styles, it doesn't do any damage, and now I have a 5-tick cooldown because I was using a Scythe or a Fang or something. It was kind of annoying. So now your character will stop attacking when it switches styles. Also, if you're like AFK in the brain, much easier to notice that it's switched. Fixed an issue where the crocodiles were not being cleaned up in the Zebek boss fight. I mean, grab a bucket and a mop. There's some wet-ass croc. Fixed an issue where players could sometimes walk inside of rubble in Baba's boss fight. See, that's a bug. That's good. We like that. I need to sneeze. One sec. Oh my god. We're good. I'm allergic to fucking bugs, apparently. Other changes. Mac users rejoice. Okay, cool. Grand Exchange trade rate for catalytic runes has been raised a little. Corrupt Gauntlet's unicorns no longer have a cool but ultimately superfluous triangle floating to the right of their head. Alright. Unnecessarily hurtful insult has been removed from the fight against me in Lunar Diplomacy. Guys, I found what they changed on Reddit. They removed line 97. You do know those clothes make you look fat. That's what me would say. They changed it to, you've got an outrageous accent, you silly thing. If they were trying to make it so that it was less offensive, did they? Like, you're still making fun of something that somebody, like, can't really control. Like, you should have just said something like, like, what? Should have just been like, I don't like your boots. Like, okay, cool, this boots. No, it's an accent. Like, physical appearance, like, locational dialogue, lingo man mode. Like, I don't know. They could have done something better than that. It's just silly. Clan members who have temporarily left their clan chat will no longer trigger broadcasts about their loot or similar achievements. Yeah, that actually had happened in my clan. If you want to join my clan, join the clan Flomple in-game and we'll get you in. It's a fun time. A crate near Lumbridge Watermill has been converted back into a fence. No way, that's game-changing. That probably affects Tileman mode, McTile. You can now cook on the fire at Port Khazard by left-clicking or tapping on it. That's kind of, Port Khazard fire, click on it. Getting hit while wearing a Torva chest piece now sounds suitably metallic. Does Torva look metallic? It looks like cement to me. It looks like it's made out of, like, a big rock. Anyways, period B on the PvP rota. Cool. We're going back up to the top. Here's what I have some gripes. I have some problems. Now, I have worked in tech industry for 4 years. I graduated university and I jumped straight into the tech world. And there are glitches when you have tech products. And there are times where it's like, shit, we should have tested a little harder. But then there's also times where you test every possible scenario that you can think of, which, like, you can think of as a shit excuse. You test every possible scenario of something, and it all passes the test, so you put it live. The glitches that end up happening are because the users that are using it, it's in a different environment. When you're testing, it's in a test environment. When you put it into the live environment, and they test, and there's a glitch, that means there's a problem with the live environment. So, the amount of goddamn glitches that ToA has had, like, they had people go there and test. Why did they not, like, they probably, I'm just talking out of my ass at this point. Talking out of my ass at this point. Test your game way harder. Like, immediately they've got a beta where they're testing these things. They clearly haven't tested them properly. Poison Dynamite doesn't work correctly. Yeah, well, should have tested that one. They're not working as intended. This has been unintentionally nerfed Food and potions don't follow you across worlds. That's in the quest speedrunning thing. I just feel like if you look back at their previous things, look at all of these freaking like they've been just constant. I know it's probably always been like this, and maybe I've just run out of patience. But my God, test your game way harder. The stakes are freaking high. I know it's a medieval child's point and click game, but the purple glitch in ToA where people were just like getting purples by re-rolling the draw. Okay, here's what was happening if you were not in the know. If you were in an 8-man ToA, you complete the boss, you have one person go into the final room and see if there's a purple. Okay? If there's not a purple, that person would log out. They would loot their regular chest and they would log out. And then the next person, now that there's nobody in that room, it's an instance. I guess the instance was just like clearing, it was deleted. The next person, so person number 2 would go in and they could have a purple. Even though there was no purple, it re-rolled it. So you essentially would get 8 chances to get a purple in an 8-man, and people were just friggin' putting tons of purples in the game. Items were crashing, and we didn't really know why. Like, the Fang was going down like crazy. It's really, really good. It should be worth more than 250 mil at this point. It's 3 weeks in, and everyone would want one for ToA. So, here's what was happening. A certain JMod has voted. So, yeah, there's been glitches. Think of it. At Nex, there was like how many week period? Was it 1 week, 2 week, 3 week period where items were just not dropping for anyone except for the MVP? When Phosani's Nightmare was released, there was no drops coming in the game for over 6 hours. There was a crowdsourcing effort done at Phosani that they crowdsourced like 4,000 drops and no one had gotten a unique. Jagex never said anything. They just hot patched it and just started doing it. Yeah, they've screwed up a lot on these. It's crazy. So there was a reply by a JMod here somewhere. I'm not gonna be able to find it, of course. Usually they're pinned at the top, so maybe I've got the wrong thread. Basically, there was a reply by the JMod, and they're like, yeah, we're looking into it, and we'll actually release like a statement of what happened when we find out. And apparently, people who were doing this glitch got a 3-day ban. They're just pumping purples into the game. Every raid you completed, you got a purple. Guaranteed. Like, you have 8 rolls at a drop, and like this is where the estimated drop rates are. In a 300, like this is crowdsourced data. Like this is of, tens of thousands of completed raids. What's the purple rate? That's what it seems to be. A 1 in 23.5 in a 300. So, if you take, they've said on the Q&A, Mod Arcane said on the Q&A, there is no change to the drop rate in bigger teams. He said it does not scale up or down. Therefore, team raids are more efficient for purples than solos, because solos inherently just take longer. So, what I'm trying to say here is, every player gets a 1 in 23.5. Divide that by 8 players, you've got like a 1 in 3 chance of a purple at an expert if you're doing an 8-man. So if you were just doing that glitch, and you could do it with 3 people and re-roll it 3 times, and your odds are that you'd get one every raid. Sorry. Anyways, it's been unacceptable. The amount of problems that they've had recently, like literally hire 10 more people that are on like part-time jobs. When you have an update coming out, they spend 2 full weeks playing the content and trying to find glitches. Not just playing the content. That's what it seems like they're doing, right? They're just going in, they're running through. Yeah, everything seems to work. Well, yeah, when you get 100,000 people doing it, people do weird shit and they break it. And also, people look for glitches and they exploit them. I don't know. They gotta work on something with their QA system, their quality assurance. It's been ridiculous recently. Now that I've gotten that out of the way, man, that was a good one. Wilderness Boss reworks and Poison Dynamite beta. Like, it's a beta to go test your stuff out for the Wilderness Boss. There's a whole thing on it. I mean, nothing worked on release, but hotfixed, and added for review. I'm not gonna talk through all of this. There's some rewards to test. There's some to test. I'm gonna test on the beta and just do another video and say what do I think, what I think's good, and then quest speed running. I'll give that one a run through as well. Doesn't really interest me, to be honest, but there you go. Cool. Thank you again for watching. Sorry I went over 20 minutes, but maybe this you were able to watch this or listen to this on your way home from work, or on your way home from the chiropractor, or on your way home from the cosmetic surgeon. Nice nose, bro. All right, drop a subscribe if you liked it. Like, comment. What else am I supposed to say? Raid Shadow Legend is not the sponsor of this video, but if it was, then cool. And I'll see you on the live stream. If you do not follow the Flompa live stream, we have exclusively have a good time over there on the live stream. So the link is in the description to the live stream. Just click it, click follow, and then next time I go live, you'll see me. It'll be great. Have a lovely day, everybody, and go find some more glitches in RuneScape, because there's clearly a shitload.